Nature's miracle once more will light the world, but this light is not for those men still lost in an old black shadow. Won't you help me to believe that they will see a day, a brighter day, when all the shadows will fade away, that day I'll cry that I believe, that I believe. Oh, my love, high above us, the sun now embraces nature, and from nature we should learn that all can start again, as the stars must fade away to give a bright new day.
I beg your pardon, madam. We didn't mean to disturb, but may we...
Come, but of course, please.
But who are these gentlemen?
Europeans. To be precise, they're Italians. Journalists. They've come here to the South to conduct an inquest. Is that the proper expression? On slavery. Indeed, they seem to be quite shocked.
What is their religion?
They're Catholics, I believe. You are Catholic, are you not?
Yes, Roman Catholic.
Well, they shouldn't feel too shocked. After all, their Pope, who's most generous with his excommunications, has yet to excommunicate a traitor in black flesh.
Unless they eat it on a Friday.
Excommunication? Catholic priests here in the South, between one Our Father and another Hail Mary, they raise goats and slaves. And I must confess, they know their business. The last 7 males I bought were sold to me by the St. Inigo Jesuits in Maryland. Finest bunch I ever bought.
But why are they here, then?
I could be wrong, but perhaps it's because they, too, are slaves. You know how Catholics are. Slaves to the fascination of sin.
Perhaps it might be their oppositionist instinct. You know Europeans, ever since the French Revolution, they've been attacking everything.
But, madam, times have changed. Rousseau, Diderot, Voltaire.
Now, it's Catholics who read the devil's own books. Oh, what would His Holiness in Rome have to say about that?
Please, please, these gentlemen are my guests, and I myself have allowed them to move freely about the house, so they can learn who really are the slaves and masters here. Senator, don't, please. No chicken bones, I beg of you. Why, I've had to take 2 of them to the veterinaries already this week. Well, at this point, I have a suggestion that might enlighten our friends from Italy. All of you at this table are distinguished people, and it would be most illuminating to hear your frank and authoritative views on the subject of slavery. For you know what Europeans say about us. that we have a guilt complex and won't talk about it.
I agree, and I shall speak first. We cannot hide slavery any more than we can hide an erupting volcano, a forest fire, or leprosy. In my own case, it is true that I have freed my slaves because they were stupid, foul-smelling, sad, and bothersome. I'm an aristocrat. I believe in freedom, but not equality. That is my statement. Signed, John Randolph of Roanoke.
I'm Professor Thomas R. Duke. In history, we know that every great civilization was founded on slavery. Let us take the classic examples of Greece and the Rome from whence you gentlemen come. It's God's and nature's law that man attempt to prevail over his fellow man. Till one becomes the master, one becomes the slave. Let us remember that God is white, and as long as God is white, we will prevail over all other races.
Sorry, Professor. What was that you said?
God is white, and as long as God is white, we shall prevail over all other races.
Beg your pardon, Professor, but with all this confusion, would you mind repeating?
God is white, and as long as God is white, we shall prevail over all other races.
Thank you very much. Any other viewpoints?
Perhaps I, too, may say something to these gentlemen from Europe. I am not a Southerner. My name is Harriet Beecher Stowe, and I'm from New England. I've been here but a few days, but even in that short a span, I've formed a personal opinion. May I state it?
Please do.
Even if I share the universal opinion that the black race is indisputably inferior to all other races, I must, on the other hand, also state that slaves are of human origin and do have an embryonic intelligence.
Oh, really?
I do not hesitate to tell you that I entertain for the suffering slave a degree of sympathy which equals the disgust I hold for those who make him suffer. I am an American who no longer understands her Southern kinsmen, and this tragic fact distresses me deeply. I can feel it. Yes, I can feel it. The wind has changed. It has turned. Are we to have a thunderstorm? And is this not a forecast of even more violent storms that may cause our great country's unity to falter? I have heard God's voice, and his word has told me to write a story, to write a book. I think I'll call it Uncle Tom's Cabin, and it is my great hope that it will enlighten and ease our souls.
Fire!
The Civil War cost America 1 million dead. For every Negro brought from Africa, a white man fell in battle, and their bones were collected by these old slaves whose freedom was bought with the white man's life. This was the price America paid, first to free itself, and then the rest of the world from the institution of slavery. An institution America had not invented, but had inherited and endured. The historic personages we met at Mrs. Carsten's dinner table, like all the others we will meet on our journey into the past, lived and breathed nearly a century and a half ago, when they never could have imagined that one day soon their scattered bones would be harvested by black hands. Now revisited in their actual surroundings, they will do and say exactly what they did and said once upon a time, when the peculiar economy of the South, the morals of the times, certain scientific beliefs, And even various passages of the Bible authorize the white man to relegate the black to the existence of a domesticated animal, without intelligence, without a soul. But this was only one half of America. The other half took arms, killed and was killed. And the former slaves, now freed, are employed by the government at 75 cents a day to collect these sacrificial bones and give them burial in thousands of nameless graves.
Christ, what a stink, Captain. What did you bring, a cargo of rotten meat?
What do you mean? This is all prime beef. They stink because they eat like pigs, then they vomit all over themselves.
Long voyage?
95 days from the Ivory Coast.
Don't you ever take them up on deck for a little fresh air?
With all the frigates nosing around these waters like hungry dogs? Times have changed, Mr. Sims, now that our damn Yankee government considers this cargo contraband. If they catch me with even one nigger on board, it's up the rope I go, and I wouldn't be the first.
They're bound to rot away down there in that cesspool.
Not on your life. Aboard my ship, hygiene's the rule. That means a clean ship, clean cargo. When one of them gets took bad, I don't wait till he plagues the others. No, sir. It's into the brining with them then and there. Captain Wicks delivers the goods in perfect condition. Anyone will tell you that.
How many head you got?
326, including the wench. This batch is all stallions. No syphilis, and they've all busting with seed. But look how rested they are. I travels with comfort. Each one got a space 6 foot by 2 foot. Why, they can even turn around. Real stallions. Every night they so hot for pleasure, and they all humping each other like a pack of dogs. And chains don't stop no how. And here's the wenches. All of them got pups, and near all is pregnant again.
How many?
112. You go $300 each?
You touched, Captain? You know I don't buy by the head, I buy by the pound.
All right. Say $200.
By the pound, I said. Hey, what are you doing, drowning them?
I told you. Rule number 1, hygiene. 3 showers a day. Salt water kills their fleas and lice.
Then you wring them and hang them out to dry, I reckon. God almighty, what a pest hole. That's diarrhea. Just busted with health, ain't they, you old pirate?
It happens now and then. But we know how to cure it.
The usual cure?
It's the oldest and the surest. Sugarcane plug, oakum, and tar. And bam, ram it in hard. Keeps the bowels locked up tight and the soul from escaping from the back door.
How come he don't blow up?
Cork will pop out first, just like a bottle of champagne.
Hey, what's that slop?
Well, that's molasses and beef grease. Diggers goes crazy for it. Have to truss them and feed them a little at a time, otherwise they'd choke themselves on it.
Looking at him, you wouldn't think so.
That one, he's taken it into his head to starve himself to death. A real pitiful case. Hey, Doc, chisel, hammer, and funnel. Go ahead and serve dinner. All right, let's say $150 a head.
You just breaking wind again. By the pound, I said. The whole cargo at $1 a pound.
$2.
$1.25.
$1.75.
$1.50.
So, I'll regret it, but it's a deal. Well, nothing else to show you. 1 sugar cane per head, and I take back their personal effects for my next cargo. Naked I bought them, and naked I sell. All hands ashore. You too, gentlemen. The voyage is over.
How can it be? The ship hasn't made port.
And she ain't a gunner. Too many busybodies ashore.
Keep moving. All right, Flash. Come on. Keep moving. Watch how you swing that hammer, Mr. Watkins. All right, come on there. Keep moving. Watch how you swing that hammer, you black bastard. That's it. Keep moving. And watch where you pound. You black bastard, come on. You bastard, come on. Give me that chain. Keep moving, Mr. Appleby.
Hey, Pluto, come here. Pluto, come over here right now.
Come here, I said. You heard me. Give that here.
Damn you, Pluto, come here. I'll teach you to jump when your master speaks.
Where are we? This is Fort Bastille, Louisiana's vast receiving station. Thomas Hewitt referred to it in his pamphlet. It says on page 106, it is ordered that all slaves upon arrival from Africa shall be placed in quarantine in Fort Bastille. Now listen to this. Page 116. In iron cages, those afflicted with mange, scabies, ringworm, yaws, and other skin diseases are treated with the smoke of ailanthus leaves. Page 118. Epileptics are tied and hung by the feet and left dangling until the blood flooding the brain arrests the convulsions. Here on page 122. It is obligatory that all new arrivals shall be given their first collective bath in water containing ashes, sand, and Lysol. Now on page 130. From the bath, they go to be greased with an ointment of palm oil and camphor. The staff is well aware that 82% of the new arrivals suffer from contagious skin ailments and may not be sold until cured. Violators of this regulation are subject to punishment by law. By means of giant slides, the subjects pass on to the next stage, which is disinfecting and purging. It goes on to say, lice and fleas that may have survived the preceding treatment will be exterminated by the complete destruction of their natural habitat. The razor, made of top-quality steel, is to be sharpened after each 200 shaves so as to avoid the possibility of damaging the scalp.
Well, come on in, gentlemen. There's nothing to be scared of. Erythema.
Pleased to meet you, Dr. Erythema.
Oh, no, I'm Doc White. Yeah, come closer. You see, the disease is erythema. Caught her from these filthy nigger bastards, don't you know? All right, bring her on over. Come on. Now, you can look all you like, but mind you, don't touch nothing. It's dangerous. Come over here. Let's see if I can give you a clean bill of health as a stud. Oh, that's it. Bring it here to me now. As skittish as a stallion, eh? You scared this is gonna pinch your nose? No. Ain't your nose that you can cause trouble with. Now, let me see if that stovepipe's in order. Scrotum? Foreskin? Hey, now, what is this? A flag raisin? Come on, put that black snake away.
All wenches with pups, step forward. Give me that bag of bones. Let's go.
Infant mortality, 60%. Principal causes, syphilis, dysentery, tuberculosis. Good thing the females is always pregnant. They averages 1.5 pups a year. And then they cut the umbilical cord with their teeth and the tetanus takes over. And what thanks to us veterinarians get for our efforts. Yeah, you see, they pee on us, that's what. And their mothers tie off the cord with horsehair. Results? Abscess and umbilical hernia. And when you come down to it, what's a gentleman like me doing being a veterinarian?
These are their food rations? I can understand why they need an enema.
Actually, it's not bad. A pint of cornmeal per head, half a pint of beans, half a pound of yams, 3 pounds of pork fat.
Whoa! Get your facts straight. Just 2 pounds of fat. We don't need any favors from you. All right, go ahead. Look at it. Just look at it. They'll gobble anything you give them. Eating and pleasuring, that's what they want. And they want to survive. They survive everything. Whippings, syphilis, cholera, the heat, the cold. Their strength is their adaptability. Come heaven or hell, they'll fill their bellies and spew out dozens of pups. Now, let me tell you something. I take my stand in favor of compulsory castration. Not out of meanness, you understand. But if we don't cut a few thousand of these black balls now, then in 100, 200 years,
Where are they taking them?
Benson Parish, the end of the line. From there they start the long march through the wilderness.
What shall we do? Follow them?
No. We'll wait for them at the swamp outside of Baton Rouge. Oh, we'd better hurry up, though, before the rainy season begins.
Now, from the railhead, the caravan proceeds on foot toward the great slave markets.
Hey, what's that red flag?
The red flag is a symbol of slavery.
That's so. And the band?
To keep up their morale so they'll make a good appearance when they arrive at the market.
Come on! All right, everybody, let's have some music. Some music, yeah? Something lively. Fine, everybody. Ah, that's
Ite cum gratia Dei, by the grace of God you're free. Ite cum gratia Dei, by the grace of God you're free. By the grace of God you're free. By the grace of God you're free. Ite cum gratia Dei, by the grace of God you're free.
all right, Father. $300 for the males, $200 for the females, $100 for the cubs. Agreed, yeah?
Ite cum gratia Dei.
Well, goodbye then, Father. Remember me when you have any more goods to set free, yeah?
By the grace of God, you're free.
Historically exact, when commanded by Rome to no longer hold slaves, the Jesuits of the monastery of St. Inigo in Maryland, instead of liberating their slaves, sold them. After a long day's march, the merchants allowed the slave caravans a few hours of rest on deserted plantations in the wilderness and in sugar mills where water was always abundant.
Who are those four?
We have an appointment with them tonight. I'll explain later.
Not bad. Yeah?
Oh, Johnny, please don't make trouble, huh?
Eh, shut up. It's my friend Buzz. This is Sonny. This here's Jake. Well then, are you coming?
But isn't this illegal?
Illegal? What's legal in this goddamn place?
Money, master. Money.
It's money he wants. There's your money. Fine, fine, fine. Just fine. On your feet. Come on, come on. You see this herd? Whole damn couple belong to one trader, because he rich, a fat hog. God! Get out of my way. Go on. Move. You know how many poor folks there is like me in this county that ain't never owned a single one of these bastards? 80 out of 100. 80 that works for nothing and die of starvation. Make way for a white man. Get out. So there's no work for us in this shitty South, thanks to these dumb brutes. Come on, well, let's go.
Go away. Go away.